Hello everyone, this is Ashutosh Pandey again, and today we are going to talk about public administration optional and some of the important courses that we are launching at our newly initiated platform, The Prodigy, and we are really thankful to all of you, especially the community for civil services, the past, present and the future aspirants, all of them together, who have obviously made it possible for us to create a big community and a system within just a short span of, let's say, almost a month. Okay, though obviously there has been a background effort for a long period of time. Okay, that is a different issue. So this PUBET Foundation Program 2021 that we are launching on 6th July, okay, this will be a brief introduction of that. Also, a very basic conceptual understanding of public administration optional itself, because a lot of queries have been there. The webinar that we conducted was obviously very successful, but yes, we got to know that most of the aspirants wanted a very detailed insight into the public administration optional. They had a lot of myths and they had misconceptions regarding that, right? Especially the commercial, the limitations and the commercial sabotage that has been done of public administration as an optional, which is obviously not a reliable information, a reliable aspect of understanding any optional and its requirements for the civil services. Right? We need to go right through the book, syllabus, question papers, past success, okay, number of aspirants who appeared for the particular optional, how many got qualified, how many got successful, and what was their approach. First of all, that is also very important. Right? You might be knowing after 2012, the changes took place and the optionals and the level of optionals changed in the examination. Right? And more so it happened with all the optional, not just public administration. But public administration had to take the onslaught mostly because public administration was very popular. It is still very popular. Right? So keeping all that in mind, we have curated this foundation program, and lots of people have shown interest in going for this program. But I felt it my moral duty, and as going with the purpose, the vision of the Prodigy of democratizing education, right? We are trying to take the inputs from the students and then customize any program. Okay, that is what we have done exactly. So let us get into some technical aspects of public administration, right, as an optional, because many students who are very new to the subject, they have a lot of problems and issues understanding exactly the nature of public administration. Right? So if we take it in a simple manner, in a very simple way, public administration, what exactly it means. Now, there's a very traditional way of understanding public administration. One is that you take certain books, you go for the references, buy Topper's notes, and then still, in spite of all that, you don't end up in being able to solve the questions of the examination. Now, this is a big issue. That why questions are not being able to understand, or you're not able to, understand the question, or in spite of all the effort that you've put, it is impossible for you to comprehend what the question is saying, right? And even to make out from where the question is coming, that is also a big problem, right? So, the reason lies in, right, the two terms, or two words I'll use, that whenever you're studying any humanities optional, okay, especially public administration is one of them, no doubt, very popular, and it has a lot of impacts, a lot of benefits for the entire general studies preparation, not only during your exam, but even your post-examination selection also. Fine, it has a big role. So I would say just two terms. If you're clear with these two terms today, fine, you have won half the battle of your public administration. Whatever people say, it doesn't matter. Fine, we have so many students who have got more than 300 plus. In fact, beginners who hardly knew anything about PubAd, who did not have a background in PubAd, still they scored 312, 313 marks. Right. There are two terms, the etymology and the epistemology. Right. Now the word etymology talks about the root word. Right? Generally, when we talk about the lexicon aspect, the vocabulary, the terms of public administration. Right? That is a very big problem, because many questions you are not able to understand is basically because of this. Fine. So there must be obviously a confined vocabulary, a confined dictionary of public administration. I'm not talking about the dictionary written by Vikram Singh or whatever, Collins, or if you take all those dictionaries, that is not subject to, UPSC preparation. Okay, it has not been designed in that way. Right. So if I say that, let us say you talk about the lexicon, the root word, the conceptual basis of any term that you are encountering in the public administration. Right. The epistemology, right, relates to the source of knowledge. The source of knowledge. The source of knowledge would here mean the philosophical basis. Now, if you see the syllabus, the unit 1 is prominently dominant in the paper 1. Right? Most of the theories, most of the concepts, most of the complicated questions that you'll find comes from unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, then comparative public administration, administrative law, development administration, public policy. So, roughly 6 units, which can cover 70% of paper 1. Now, that is also a good strategy to prepare. Fine? So, let us say, if you are talking about this word epistemology, this is the philosophical basis, the root of understanding any theory, any theorist in public administration. Fine? Because there is a big confusion. The theories are conflicting, theories are, complicated, theories create a very complex terminologies, okay, and unsurmountable, feat required to accomplish understand theories. Prasad and Prasad should be read, or this book should be read, and what to do. But see, the beauty lies in the simplification of the idea. Right? It has nothing to do with the complications. It has nothing to go, into the textbook understanding of a particular theory. The theories must be visible to you in day-to-day social, political, cultural life that you see around you. And that is the best way of linking the theories and the theorists both. Fine? One thing is also very important, that once you are knowing the theories are the basis of the entire subject, entire discipline. If you don't know the theory, obviously you are not able to, or you will not be able to apply that into paper 1 or paper 2 both. Fine? Applying that in paper 2 is also very important. But yeah, okay, that is a different story. Over the time when we get into the classes, we'll talk about it. So, the epistemology and the etymology, if you're clear with these two things, for example, when we say bureaucracy, so bureaucracy is a specific term referred to certain things. That is the etymological part. What is the origin of the word bureaucracy, or the bureaucratic word which was used in Germany? Fine. The word bureaumania used in France and Germany with reference to that. So, unless you know the context of that term, fine, the basis or the root of that particular term coming from where, what was their idea behind it, okay, you will not be able to comprehend what bureaucracy is actually. Okay, it got several meanings over the time, but to understand its original idea, you have to understand this. Epistemology, obviously the people who contributed to the bureaucracy, the term, okay, but they created its entire framework, right? They developed its entire physiology, fine, the anatomy, the entire blood, veins, muscle, okay, the epistemology. That means what was the vision behind this idea of bureaucracy? Okay, what was the core context? What were the circumstances? What were the conditions, okay, under which the vision for a bureaucracy or a bureaucratic system develops? That is the epistemology. So every theory, every concept in public administration is a combination of these two things. If you understand these two things, you have almost done public administration, right? And your problems of conceptually not being able to understand certain things, right? Of conflicting theories, of getting bogged down by the facts and unnecessary information that you acquire, right? In mugging up the Prasad and other books, illogical, right? So we'll aim at that. That is what we have expertise in, right? So let me give you a simple example: public administration, or the word public. We read a lot of definitions given by Fifner and Prestes, Wilson, Waldo, Weber, Negro, and your Goodenough, right? Then your Simon, okay, and a lot of people are there. Fine. So they have given a lot of definitions of public administration. What we do, we take up Lakshmikant or Maheshwari, or for that matter any other book, and we start mugging up the definitions. Now, what use is this definition unless you understand the scope of the subject itself? Right? Mugging the definition is like trying to memorize an address, okay, without knowing whom you have to meet there. Right? So you're memorizing an address without knowing exactly what you are memorizing this address for. Right? So it should not be an indiscriminate amassing of information, useless. It's not needed. Okay, at least not to score 200 marks in public administration, and even more than that you can score. So with the word public, let us see how we decipher, layer by layer the idea. So if I say public administration, or people say, yes, public administration is a system working for the society. Public administration is a system working for the welfare of the society. Public administration is this, it is the execution part of the government, this is this. But what is the core philosophy? What is the core idea? Okay, what is the etymology and what is the epistemology of this term? So if I want to define its scope, let's say I will try to divide it into certain concepts, small concepts, and then link them together. So when I say public, the word public comes from a sense of common, something that is common, right? Common here would mean something collective. So if I say collective ownership, common ownership, right? Ownership of what? Ownership of the resources of the society. Now this idea comes from the very basis where the origin of public administration takes place. Because there are two traditions. One is the French and German, known as the Francophone tradition, and other is the Anglo-Saxon tradition, especially owing to USA and UK, of which India is also a part now. So generally the origin of public administration comes from these two philosophies, or these two cultural backgrounds, right? Now when we say, so we are basically focusing on today the role of public administration or study, especially related to the democracy. So when I say common or collective ownership of resources, right? So we know that, okay, we are not going to own it individually, we have to own it collectively. So how this collective system will operate? There is a need for a government. So we create a collective system that we call as government. And this collective system, government, is going to own on behalf of us, on behalf of this collective or community, the ownership. So see, the idea of government is inherent to public. The idea of common spirit or common ownership or community ownership or collective ownership is inherent to public. Who is this community or common citizen with respect to the government? What is the relationship? For example, you want to buy a product. You are a consumer. You are a customer. Fine. You are part of the family. You are the same person. You are part of the family. You are a family member, a social member. You are part of religion. You are a social member. Fine. You are part of a political system. So what can you be called now? You can be called a citizen. Same person, multiple roles. Fine. Multiple values, multiple behaviors governing him. Okay. In different contexts. So you can say here, what is the relationship of these people? Okay. Who we are? The citizens now. So the idea of citizens, again, inherent to this, right? Understanding? So idea of citizens become inherent to this. Collective ownership, government. Now, how this word public now gets divided into multiple meanings. Right? And the assortment of entire this would comprehensively mean public for you. So, let us say citizens, why or what is the purpose here? So, common ownership leading to what? Why it has to be done through a system of government? Why? Because it can maximize the benefit of all. When individually we are given the ownership, right, it may come in conflict with each other because every one of us will try to maximize his interest. So here, the idea is the welfare, or idea is the public interest now. So the word public links to all of them together now. Right? So see, the vision, the philosophy behind the use of this term public and to categorize the subject known as public administration is this. So collective ownership of resources, the needs of the citizens, fine, being served by a system that is created, political system known as the government or the state, as you say. State is a little different concept, but government, simplification we can do, and this is done for the purpose of welfare interest. Right? So, we can say now, but how? Let's come to the second part. So, this is the vision, these are the goals, this is the mission of this subject, the discipline, the study, and what is this now? So, if we are now focusing on achieving this purpose, we need to create a system for that, and that system will be called as administration, okay, which you can call as the executive part of the government, right, which has been created to perform certain actions in order to achieve these goals. Now, the administration is the system based on which we intend to achieve it, right, through certain means, certain methods. So, public administration now gives you a wider understanding. So, citizens are part of that, government is part of that, the administrative system which has been designed to serve these ends is part of that, the goals and the purposes which are there, that is part of this, management of resources commonly is part of that, serving the interest is part of that. Now, you can divide it and now we can independently study all of them. How to design a good administration? What are the core values of an ethical administration? Who are the administrators? How an administrative system can be designed? Right? How effectively and efficiently we can achieve these purposes? Right? What will be the role of the public? What will be the role of the government? How the government will ensure the delivery of these goods and services? What role will citizens do? How will they participate? What can be the processes by which they can be eliminated? And how to overcome them, right? Now see, this gives the entire scope of the study of public administration. Now let us say if we start our study with this idea, fine? If we start our study with this logic, then now it's better, okay, to get into the skin of the subject. Because earlier what you are doing was just reading the definition. PubAd बहुत simple है, PubAd ये है, PubAd ये होता है. But without getting into the skin of the subject itself. Why? You are just visualizing or studying it as a third party sitting outside the system. So what we believe that society, right, citizens, government, now if I want to simply say, so if we say the society is very much part of that, fine, the political system is very much part of that. If we take separately, let's say an administration is very much part of that, the citizens are part of that, and n number of things over the time. Because wherever we are studying public administration, fine, we have to understand this public administration under certain circumstances. There's a very simple example for that. If you have to compare the implementation of a particular program in an urban area like Delhi and then other in a tribal area like you have in your 5th schedule, 6th schedule of the constitution. So there is Delhi an urban area and there are tribal areas. Now the same program cannot be implemented here. Right? The problem of traffic, management of traffic is definitely a big issue maybe in New York, cities like New York or Delhi. But you see, the classification of the transport system would be very different. The mentality of people, okay, the commuters will be very different. The paying capacity would be very different. So even if we are implementing a motor vehicle policy or transport policy in New York and in India simultaneously, both the policies may be same, but their execution and its effect will change automatically because of these circumstances which are here and the circumstances which are there, right? So if we have to implement local governance, for example, here Delhi, then tribal areas. So government itself has created something like PESA, Panchayat Extension to Scheduled Areas Act 1996. Now, this is a kind of understanding that yes, as the geography changes, as the region changes, as the people change, as the citizens change, their cultures change, the historical factors affecting them, they are different. So we need to modify this administration, and the knowledge regarding the administration will change, right? So see, public administration has this vast scope of understanding. Okay, paper 1 is mostly related to theories. Paper 2 is Indian administration, which has more practical orientation. But even if you see Indian administration, right, it is not like GS, it is not like the newspaper analysis that people think. Okay, it also has a specific content, it has a specific syllabus, and more or less, it has to be understood under the lens, okay, under the litmus test of paper 1 itself. Okay, even though they are very different, poles apart, no doubt. But unless paper 1 is conceptually understood, right, it has been visualized, the theories have been visualized practically, the paper 2 would be difficult to understand. So if we are going to do this, there is a symbiotic relationship. That is what we intend to do. That is what we have been doing since long time, which has given a lot of results. Okay, so we integrate the teachings, the 4.5 months or so the course runs. Fine, it has everything in there. So it's very important to have a relative understanding of current affairs, theories, concepts, fine, and the circumstances, the social, political, cultural, more so now in globalization, fine, the problems like pandemics we are seeing, disasters and likewise. So there are a lot of factors which come into play in understanding the administration, and that is the beauty of public administration, that it is dynamic, fine, yet it is not anarchic. So there is a difference between, thin line between anarchy and dynamism, fine, which people tend to overlook. So they become anarchic in pursuing the knowledge, pursuing the study of civil services, especially the public administration optional, right? But this is not going to be done here. We are going to align that, eliminate all those loose edges of the, which makes dynamic and anarchy, that we are going to eliminate, fine. So this is the entire idea. Our course, basically it was an intro for this. Now let's say theories. There are a lot of theories, starting from, Woodrow Wilson to Max Weber to Simon, and a lot of theories are there. And every theory has its own microcosm. It is an entire world in itself. It is an entire, a system working within itself. So every theory has its own, you can say lifespan, its own nitty and gritty, its own, you can say a personality. Okay, it is like a living creature. So you have to understand that, getting into the skill of the theorist. Okay, I'll give you a simple example how we simplify the theories. Like for example, Weber. Now, when we are thinking of Weber, Weber was the person who is most dominant in public administration. Right? Now what people do, people say, okay, Weber talked about authority system, Weber developed the concept of bureaucracy. It was not Weber who developed the concept of bureaucracy. Fine. Weber was the one who gave it a very positive meaning. Weber was the one who comprehensively created a theory of bureaucracy. It gave it more of an academic status, the word bureaucracy. Right. So when we read Weber, see generally what we do, right? Without comparing with anybody, without criticizing anyone, it is what they are doing, but what we are doing is very different from that. So when people study Weber or they teach Weber, what they do, they directly jump to this idea. Bureaucracy, he talks about features of bureaucracy and all this, but this is not what Weber is, right? So Weber comes in a different context, okay, coming from Germany. He was more interested in understanding how in any society the power system, the authority works. For example, I'll give you a simple understanding like family. Family also has an authority system, the father, the patriarchal system or the patrilineal system, the power being transferred from one male to another male. Right? This is how the family also runs. Similarly, somewhere society also has the similar bent, but at a higher degree, fine, with some higher complications. Political system like this. Now see, so Weber's main focus was to understand how the power, or for that matter, authority, fine, is functional in the society, how it functions in the society, how it makes society work, how it controls society, and even if it does, okay, and then why it is so that power is able to control or legitimize its actions in the society. Why will society accept it? Right? Now his entire thesis revolves around this idea, right? And he was obviously more concerned with a post-industrial society which was emerging after industrial revolution, and he wanted to find out, he wanted to know whether will there be any transformation in the way we were governing the societies in the pre-industrial era and we will be governing the societies in the post-industrial era. Will there be a difference in that or not? That was his entire thesis. So he talks about power, authority, domination, three aspects which are necessary to run any society, which are necessary to legitimize any action of the government. Now see, if you don't understand that aspect of Weber, he was a German sociologist. He was not an administrative theorist, but he was concerned with power. As he was concerned with power, it becomes very logical that somewhere, okay, his prime concern would be to understand the notion of power, understand the nature of power, and then improve the exercise of this power in the modern societies. Now that is the entire idea of bureaucracy, right? So just jumping to bureaucracy, studying the features, memorizing the features, and talk about the values of bureaucracy, this is something immature-ish. And that is how we generally study. So see, as we change our attitude, the altitude changes. Fine. So the moment you change your window of looking at public administration, now this window becomes more flexible, more logical, more rational. The same content would seem to you more commonsensical, more understanding. Otherwise, you're reading Prasad and Prasad or Mohit Bhattacharya or Nicholas Henry, they all will be useless. So we intend to do that. Okay, now this was a very brief session regarding how to approach public administration, what to think of or how to think of in the area of public administration, how to score, a lot of marks which people aspire for, and it can be scored very easily with certain minor changes. And all of you, and those who have studied, okay, and those who have understood this, what public administration here, what we have talked about, right, they have the ability, if you have understood it, fine, you have qualified enough to clear this exam and score a big, 300 plus marks in this paper. If you have understood what we have talked about here, very briefly, fine. So, 6 July onwards, we are launching the PubEd Foundation program for 2021, fine. And as we are getting a lot of responses right now also, we would be looking forward to your participation, your inclusion, fine, in the kind of silent revolution that we have started. Okay, and the revolution is more about the change in the orientation towards the examination, the change in the preparation style, fine, the change in the entire, the commitment and motivation to the goal that you are pursuing. And we as a system would be more than willing to contribute if you are, like we say. So if you are sincere about this exam, we'll be serious about you. Fine. So 6 July we are starting off. The details, the dates, the structure, the course structure, the extended topics, the reference books, everything can be accessed, on the prodigy.in and our Telegram channel, the YouTube channels, everything will be there. So it will be in the description or in the details, it will be provided to you. Fine. So we are looking forward to your participation. This gives me a huge moral responsibility, bestows me with that, okay, to also request you to exhort all of you that as the digital space is available to you, fine, so it is your right as an aspirant to inquire about what you're going to do, fine, to compare institutions, teachers, books, references, whatever, and do it first hand. Don't depend on the second hand sources. Some toppers tell you what to do, fine, some people tell you what to do. No. Fine, this is a commercial corporate world and everything is no doubt adulterated, whether it is an advice or a product or a service. So it is for you, go search for things, compare. If you are just listening to me, go and compare our competitors, our colleagues, whosoever are there in this field, compare them also. Fine, make a rational assessment and you're free to, choose. And that is your democratic right. And that is why it should be fair and transparent. Right? So, don't blame the subject. Don't blame anyone. It is you who can make a big difference to your preparation. And this is what we intend at Prodigy. Fine. And there are a lot of other courses and, details which are available. We'll be talking about that over in different videos. Fine. So till then time, thank you so much for your participation. Looking forward to see you. All the best.